Hey, what's up everybody? This is a video of the update of what happened to me about 24 hours ago when I got arrested. So I'm just gonna go through a couple of the points, and if you make it to the end of the video, you'll see a better idea of what's actually happening and what you can do to join the do not comply type of situation of illegal mandates and just communism situations. I'm gonna try not to use big words and just be myself. So anyways, the governor of Hawaii, or the mayor, I'm just gonna say governor, I don't know which one it was, 2 days ago at noon, he had a conference that said he's gonna drop all COVID restrictions. So without looking into it more than that, what's included in that is the mask, the COVID testing, and the COVID vaccine mandate for establishments to enforce on the employees. So we all been waiting for this day. So when I heard that, first thing I did, I went into a Cricket store to pay my cell phone bill. I walked in there with a mask. I voiced my new findings of the lifting of the mandates and told them I would be the first one to take off my mask. And that was that. Took off my mask, they were pretty happy, asking more questions, paid my cell phone bill and left. Then I turned around, needed to go to the ATM in a place called Long's Drug Store. It's like a Walgreens, and I walked in there without a mask, went to the ATM, pulled out money, and then I walked out. No one said anything. People looked at me, but that's nothing new. And I was on about my business. Then I called my wife and was like, hey, you need anything before I get to the house? I went ahead and went to the gas station with no mask. A gas station I go to all the time. There's two of them on my area that I go to all the time. This is the second one. And there's a particular lady that just doesn't really like anybody. I don't know if it's because she thinks she's perfect or what her issue is. She doesn't like people that are not from Hawaii. I have no idea. But for a year that I've been here, that's been the case. Just not any good interactions. Sometimes it's just nothing that happens, but never anything positive. So when I saw her, she told me to put a mask on. And first thing I said was, her mask wasn't even over her nose. Why is she telling me to put a mask on? Immediately she puts her mask on all the way and proceeds to tell me to put on a mask. I informed her about what the governor said, and she then was like, well, that's not here. And I was like, that's not how it works. I'm gonna try not to go through all the details. That's not what's important. But we'll just keep going from now. So she ended up calling, quote unquote, her boss to see if that was the case. Her boss said, we don't have those updates yet, so right now he needs to put on a mask. I'm not putting on a mask, and I'm not leaving the store until I can ring up the items that I want to purchase, and then I'll be on my way, especially with the new findings about the mask. So from here, she called the cops. She wanted to keep helping other people, so I would just hop in register to register. She was in the store by herself. There were people starting to build up in the store, and I just turned around and I told them, hey, you know, this is what's going on. I know it kind of looks bad because I'm in uniform. I just got off of work. You know, the mandates are, for one, all illegal, not lawful. And since I wear the uniform, since I served the United States Army, you know, I take it serious, and I'm trying to protect the freedoms of the Constitution is what the bottom line is. So I'm not wearing a mask, and if you're scared that I'm not wearing a mask, then you can wear a mask, and you know, just going through the whole spiel. So no one was getting help in the store for about 10 minutes. I called a few people that needed to be aware of the situation if I was going to be locked up and all this stuff. So then at that point, my wife is running from the house to the gas station to just be there for me and all that stuff. Cops come. They can't write me a ticket for not having a mask. They cannot ask me to leave. and they cannot arrest me for not wearing a mask. That's pretty much what they said, and it was true, and they showed it to be true because they were not doing anything. The cop at that point, I heard him tell the lady at the thing to say, hey, just go ahead and trespass him. So that is already one violation that a cop cannot recommend in certain situations like this, like what they should do. They should only be there. You know, it's just, if I'm not breaking a law, they can't make me break a law, and they're making me break a law by recommending for them to trespass me. The thing about trespasses is you have to have a reason why you trespass somebody. The cops, about 4 or 5 of them, until the other 10 got there, were telling me that they don't have to have a reason to trespass me, and I was like, that's not true. If that was true, then I can be a black owner of a gas station, let's use that as an example, and I can decide not to let any white people into my store. And we all know that that's not legal. So that's why you cannot trespass somebody just for any reason. You have to have a reason. Cops should not be saying that they can have any reason whatsoever. It has to be within the law. So we got that out the way. They wanted to talk about flip-flops, and if you don't have a shirt on, then they can trespass you for that. So the thing about that is, I'm not fighting that battle. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to, I could, but I'm not fighting that battle. It's too easy to put on a shirt, and you probably think, oh, it's too easy to put on a mask. No, it's not. So when we figured out the whole trespassing thing, they read me my trespassing order, the lady at the gas station. Before this, one of the customers decided to pay for my items, and then, you know, I could be on my way. But it's a bigger situation, it's a bigger message. I thanked him for, you know, looking out for me in this situation, but I'm going to proceed. So when I was out of the store with all my items, I was talking to the cops. They read me, not the cops, the lady at the gas station read me a trespassing order. And then I was still talking to the cops, like, I'm coming back to the store tomorrow. And they said, okay, well, you know, we'll arrest you. I said, well, arrest me right now. And they was like, no. So I wanted to walk back into the door, and the cops started blocking the door. Again, stupid games that they shouldn't be doing, and it makes them look really bad, and, you know, then we can start to expose them. As far as the bad cops, I'm not saying all cops are bad. Too many of them are bad, but that's not what this is all about. So when I pretty much humiliated him for blocking the door and how stupid he looks, he ended up moving out of the way. And then I started thinking about what my next few steps could be. And they were just saying how, you know, they would just write me a ticket, because I wanted them to take me to jail. If they were going to break the law and take me to jail, that's what I wanted. I didn't want to try to fight this with just a ticket and this and that. Let's go all the way. This would be a lot easier that way. So anyways, they said they're gonna write me a ticket. I said, well, I'll just keep going in and out of this store until you arrest me. I don't need no tickets. So anyways, I went into the store, grabbed some gum, get online, and then the cops, I guess, figured out if that's what they're gonna do, and they did. They came in and arrested me. I had already gave all the updates to my wife. She had already got there. And basically, you know, they're trying to enforce a policy that we have to wear masks while we're in the store. Law enforcement is not here to enforce policy, they're here to enforce law. So that's kind of like what's going on. So they arrest me. I went ahead, and when they arrested me, they didn't put me in a cop car right away. We still had a small conversation outside the store. That's kind of where they messed up. I had an idea for my wife to take a photo of me, and when my wife was trying to pull out her phone, they were trying to hurry up and put me into the cop car, so I slowed down my steps, still going in the right direction, and they wanted to start roughing me up a little bit. So that was that situation. One of the cops was understanding that, hey, it's just a photo, you know what I'm saying? Like, will it go viral? Probably not. Are they doing something wrong? You know, whatever they might think about it. One of them was trying to be easy on me, and the other was not. But anyways, so then when I started, I wouldn't consider that resisting, because I was still going the direction. But anyways, one of the cops that had, like, you know, out of a bunch, you're always gonna have that one that's like the super strong bad cop. So he was the one taking lead of everything and all the communication with me, because all the other ones I was just shutting down left and right with all the information that I had. And I was able to shut this dude down too, to the point where he had to get aggressive and telling me that, oh, I think I'm tough now because I have handcuffs on, and he wanted to show me his name tag right all up in my face, and told me that I'm a piece of shit infantry soldier and I'm a disgrace to the uniform and all those things. And then said that whenever I get out of jail, we can meet up somewhere and we can fight. So I asked him if his camera was on. He said yes, and I was like, all right, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the professionalism at? Where, no matter what the convicted are doing, aren't you supposed to be professional? So anyways, all right, turn around. So anyways, after all that, man, where was they at? Let's see, where was they at? Where was they at on the conversation? So after all that, I pretty much need to put a complaint in on him. All right. So they take me to jail, but right when they lock you up, they ask you, hey, are you sick? You know, are you dealing with anything like that? And I was like, yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of y'all's bullshit, and y'all want to enforce policy and not law. And they keep saying I'm preaching to the choir, like they agree with me. Then if they agree with me, why are they sitting here doing this to me? If I'm not breaking any law, why are they locking me up? Because now they want to trap me for trespassing. So anyways, so they take me to the hospital because I simply said that I'm sick and tired of them, you know, of all their bullshit. And then I have a headache, and then that my stomach hurts, I'm about to shit on myself, and this and that. So the protocol is they had to take me to the hospital. So that was interesting to see. They take me to the hospital. The guy don't want to see me there because I'm not wearing a mask. And I'm not about to put a mask on because that's the whole reason why I'm in this situation. So they can't clear me to move me to the next process because I don't want to put a mask on. So again, interesting stuff. There was a whole situation with the guy that was trying to have a mask put on me, but I'll save that for another time. So they're trying to figure out what to do. They end up taking me to a military hospital where the laws and the procedures are different, where I have to put on a mask. Probably not, but it's just a way tougher fight. And you know, I'll fight that fight if I need to. But right now, I put a mask on. I was in the emergency room, and again, another whole story about all that, how that interaction went there. I was there for 3 hours. Handcuffed the whole time. Shoulders are killing me because my shoulders are pulled back behind my back, and I already have a bad shoulder. I asked them to put the handcuffs in front. You know, it's policy that they can't do that. So, you know, just getting mistreated even more. So after the handcuffs, or after the medical situation, I get cleared. They go ahead and book me. Again, there's a few steps with all that also. You just go from precinct to precinct, and just different things have to happen until you end up where the next day, if you do not bail out, which I did not bail out because the numbers, they give you a phone call, right? They give you a phone call, but they only let you call 808 local numbers, which is Hawaii. No one I know by heart's phone number is 808. And most of the people in the military don't have 808 numbers because we're not from Hawaii. So they kind of make it impossible to be able to bail out. So I stayed in there. That was the situation. Some other pros of not bailing out is you get to go through the arraignment as part of the process of the courts. to see if, you know, the judge will let you out without being bailed out and stuff like that if you just agree to show up to court and this and that. So that was a pro for that. The next morning I had the arraignment around 9 o'clock. They wanted me to plead guilty on a misdemeanor. It would be 2 days of jail, but time served for the half a day that I did do, and I would have no fine. Max penalty if I go to court, if I did not take the plea and plead guilty, which also included having a misdemeanor on my record, which at the moment I have 0 things on my record. If I don't plead guilty, they try to scare you and say the worst penalties could be 30 days in jail for this offense, a max of $1,000 fine, and again, instead of a petty misdemeanor, it would increase to a misdemeanor. So, you know, I've already heard all the scare tactics in the world. I'm not going to, you know, have fear and try to make a deal. I'm innocent, and I will fight this until I'm recognized as such. So from here, court date is April 11th, 8 o'clock, Eva Beach Courthouse. It might be a Zoom because everybody here is scared of COVID, or it might be in person. I'll get those details when I know them. When I was in the jail, I got assaulted by one of the guards. When I was in the hallway, the guards were trying to talk to me. They saw my tattoos. They wanted to talk about my tattoos, specifically the Bitcoin one. I didn't want to talk to any of the guards. You know, I don't have to talk to the guards. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I chose to do. But they kept trying to talk to me about my Bitcoin tattoo. So I just turned around and said, yes, I own Bitcoin. They wanted to keep talking, but I pretty much was shutting it down. So at that point, when I got back in my cell, where we can talk, walk around, such and such, we don't have handcuffs on, you're in there with about 3 to 5 other people. In this situation, I was in there with 2 others. One of the guys wanted to have a conversation with me, and I was fine with it, so I started talking to him, and the guard poked his head in there and told me and us that we can't talk. So he was trying to just make a move that didn't make any sense. I was like, that's not how this works. And you were just trying to talk to me about the Bitcoin, and now I'm in here and I can't even talk. Like, you're literally not making any sense. And at this point, I'll be quiet if you just get out of my face and you just leave right now. And he just wanted to keep talking over me, so I was talking over him. And then, like I said, in this cell, you're allowed to stand up and such. So I ended up standing up, and they took a big threat to that, apparently, because him and about 5, 6 other guards rushed me and told me to sit down. And again, I don't have to sit down. You know, I'm in the cell, I'm not doing anything wrong, but you guys want to make it a thing. I'm even telling you, if you leave me alone, I'll even be quiet, but they can't understand that. So I ended up sitting down after I get backed up into a corner before they put their hands on me. And when I sat down, the dude was still in my face for like 10 seconds. This is all on video. And I decided to move my hand, and he was so close to me that when I moved my hand, it rubbed up against him, and he said I assaulted him. So at this point, he started putting on some COVID gloves, and you know, I started communicating that, oh, so you're all up on me, I can't even move, so anything I do is going to be assault. So if I move my knee and it rubs up against you, I'm about to get beat down. I see how this is going to go. You know, I had like 5 more seconds to think about how I wanted to react. I wanted to knock the dude out and then just take a nice beating and then move forward with, you know, with a lawsuit like that, because I got assaulted first. I'm on video yelling at this dude, leave me alone, and I'll be quiet, literally word for word. And he's deciding not to de-escalate the situation, which is one of the main things of his job. So yeah, he definitely crossed the line. He assaulted me by, when I moved my hand and it rubbed up against him, he slapped my hand left or right, and that's assault. That's all it takes. You shouldn't be putting hands on nobody, whether you're a guard or not. I'm not sure what kind of extra leeway they have, but I know if I don't do anything first, they cannot assault me. And really, they can't assault people. they can only, if certain situations arise, be able to like hold people down, this and that. But you know, people do get beat up in jail by the guards. They do get harassed and assaulted. That was in a situation where it was very minor, but still uncalled for, and I'm going to have to put a complaint in on him. So that's 2. One of his supervisors was there out of the bunch of guards, and how it got de-escalated was because the supervisor was like, all right, let's get out of here. And I was like, yeah, you better listen to him before you get yourself into a situation. You know, things that whenever you're trying to act all bad and tough as a guard, you don't want to hear someone saying things like this to you because, you know, because they're wrong at that point, and it makes them look bad and takes their ego, and, you know, it makes them look stupid. So anyways, so that was the situation there. I got out of jail, didn't have my phone, didn't have my money, didn't have anything on me. They won't let you call anybody that's not an 808 number. So how these people get released from jail, they're literally on the block right away, and trying to figure out how they're gonna get home. And I did run into some guys that, you know, they live on the other side of the island. They can't call nobody. They actually look homeless, so no one's actually gonna let them use their phone. And it's just a bad situation. Even in my situation, like, I know I got money, so I ended up just trying to figure out a different way before calling a taxi, but I just ended up calling a taxi and got it done. Got to the house and, you know, started working on everything from there. So that's what happened. I don't think I left too much out. The only thing we can discuss in the future is what happened at the hospital. And I think there was one other situation. As you can see, I'm completely innocent. When you look at the actual Constitution, the whole thing about the COVID mask, let's just use that as an example, but it kind of relates to everything else, the vaccine, the COVID test, but let's just use the mask. I've been fighting the other ones too, but now this is the first time I fought the mask. But anyways, it's unconstitutional. I can walk anywhere I want to without a mask into any establishment. And the big fight at the beginning when all this happened was what happened to medical rights? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you know I'm not vaccinated if I walk into your store without a mask? You want me to show you papers that I am vaccinated? Because in Hawaii, that's how it is. We can't go to restaurants, movies, nothing like that if you're not vaccinated. So, you know, no one's really fighting that fight that I can see. That's definitely a fight that needs to be fought, but they're about to lift all the mandates anyways. But it's been, you know, about a year's worth of time. So that's what's going on. With the whole mask thing, if you can see that I'm innocent. Like I said, you don't have to wear a mask at any of these places. When they try to take you to court and put you in jail, a lot of these cases that are similar are getting dropped in court because it's illegal, but no one wants to get locked up in jail for a day, or they can't bail out, so they're in there for 30 days and this and that. So it's not a fun situation to be in, but it is what it takes to get thrown out. You know, do not plead guilty. So yeah, I went through most of the details. As far as how to end the video, I'm in a situation, I don't have kids. You know, I have a wife that is supportive in this situation. Even if I didn't have a wife that was supportive, guess what? I still would be doing what I feel led to do. And I used to not ever want to get involved in politics and, you know, just everything I didn't want to be involved in. So now that I have this new understanding of what's actually happening, it's been like this for a couple of years, you know, we got to do something as the people, because if we don't, everything how you know it will change. And America is the most free country in the world, but that could change, and it could change quick. We've already seen it change quick. You know, certain states running things differently, and we can't even go to restaurants if you're not vaccinated, because they want you to show proof that you have a vaccine card. And they've been doing that here in Hawaii for about a year now, or 9 months. So we got to put up the fight. Even in the military, it's the same things going on. They want to kick us out because we're not vaccinated by something that's not even FDA approved. If you still think that the COVID vaccine is FDA approved, you're just so wrong. And there's paperwork out there that shows that it's not. They don't put it on the mainstream media. So, but if you read the paperwork, who approves what, the different organizations, you'll see that it's not approved. They're running with a story that is saying otherwise. So anyways, we just got to keep fighting. You got to have no fear. You can't be worried about what could happen. I didn't want to go to jail. I didn't want to, spend money on these lawyers and this and that. But if you really want change more than anything else, then you have to go through the steps, and you can't have fear. Keep your trust in God. Pray that He leads you through the right maneuvers and truth at the end of the day. Whether I don't personally win or the next person doesn't win, but at the end of the day, end of the movement, truth will come out. And that's what all that matters. We shouldn't be following anything that's not true. We shouldn't be so far on the left or so far on the right. I'm not here to say if you're a Democrat or Republican, you're wrong. We gotta just kind of be in the middle, because on both sides it's foggy. I got a lot more information about like the Russia and Ukraine situation, my own personal opinions based off all the research I've done. If anybody wants a video like that next, let me know. It's definitely interesting. But yeah, find your foundation back in God, back in the Bible, and just understand that something is happening. It's not the way it's supposed to be happening. As far as what these people are doing to us is not legal. They're trying to change our Constitution and replace it with something else, and it might look good, but it's not, and things like that. So anyways, I'm about to go ahead and have lunch. That's the video. I'm glad I was able to keep it under 30 minutes. There's some more updates to come. That's the update on the jail situation. I'm okay. My wrist hurt a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. They kept them on tight, and since I was running around the whole city with the cop, I had them on for like 6 hours, and it was not comfortable at all. They were not working with me at all, and I wasn't even being aggressive at all. So share the video with your friends if they want a better understanding of what's happening with the mask mandates, and if you go to court and you shouldn't be pleading guilty to something that is within the law. So once I can show y'all proof, April 11th, that I'm going to be what's called acquitted, I think that I'm not going to be guilty, I am innocent, and they're going to throw it out. Guess what? Next step, most likely, is go back into another gas station, do the same thing over again. The more that they see this happening, the more easier it's going to be for people to be able to finally take their mask off and walk into places and not be threatened to be arrested, because the cops are going to stop arresting people that are doing this because it's not against the law. And they can't just keep using resources to lock people up and take them through the court process and using those resources if it's not against the law. So all the cops are on different pages and understanding of even the mask of the COVID restriction mandate. Some of them were saying the end of March and then the beginning of March, and one of them agreed with me that it is today. So everybody's getting different information, even all the cops were. So it's very confusing, I'm sure. I mean, there's some bottom line things. The jab's not safe. They want to give it to, and they are, parents have been giving it to their kids as low as like 5 years old. It's just a sad thing. And this is the hill that I'm going to die on. So let's keep trying to be smart, but not passive, not aggressive. The word is going to be assertive, all right? All right, take it easy, guys.